Hi, I'm Chetan, and I'm the founder of Recruitro.com. Recruitro.com is an extremely ambitious product that aims to disrupt the $4 billion staffing industry. Recruitro started as a hypothesis, was validated through a market research with HR professionals across India, and 6 months later, we have a product that we're really proud of. What's really fun about Recruitro is that every day we learn something new about it. Every day we find new features that we could add that could provide more value to employers across India. Now, before I get into the current status of the company, let's start by giving you an understanding of the product itself and what it can do for employers across India. So to begin with, what is Recruitro? Currently, most recruiters source resumes from online sourcing websites, inbound applications, walk-ins, and then organize these resumes into their applicant tracking system, or Excel. And that's how they manage their recruitment processes. Recruitro, on the other hand, is a tool wherein recruiters can source candidates and manage their recruitment processes, as well as collaborate with team members. But why will these recruiters want to shift from their current recruitment processes to us? That is, if we provide them with something their recruitment processes lack, or something we can do better. If we provide them with something they value. But what do they value? One thing only: the number of openings they close, the strike rate. That's what matters to them. That's what they are paid for. That's what gets them their bonus and their incentives and their promotions. But how do you increase the strike rate? I mean, what's the best way to increase the strike rate? See, the current problem in recruitment processes is that resumes don't represent candidates effectively. A candidate may say he possesses a certain skill, but his proficiency in that skill remains questionable. It's only during the telephonic interviews, face-to-face interviews, that you are actually effectively able to gauge exactly how good or bad a candidate is. So we could increase the strike rate by helping recruiters source only the best candidates for the job. But how do we know who is the best candidate just from a resume? Let's park that thought for a while. So to begin with, let's look at a typical recruitment process. A typical recruitment process starts with sourcing of prospective candidates. Recruiters tend to use multiple tools to source prospects. They use online portals, social networking sites, referrals from current employees, as well as inbound applications from the careers page and walk-ins. From these sources, the recruiter builds a candidate pool. Let's say 100 prospects were identified for the candidate pool. This candidate pool is then organized in the recruiter's applicant tracking system, or Excel. From here begins the shortlisting process. Candidates are called, emailed, interviewed. Through this process, the number of right fit candidates are identified and shared with the department head. This process usually sees the number of the candidate pool drop from 100 to a 25. Following the involvement of the department head, there is usually an interview and sometimes a skill test. At the end of the process, the best fit candidates are identified and shortlisted. Let's assume 7 candidates were shortlisted. An intention check is conducted for these 7 candidates, and salary negotiations take place as well. At the end of this process, we end up hiring 1 candidate. We like to call this entire process from the candidate pool to the hire the selection phase. Now, before I move any further, let me highlight that out of 100 candidates, 1 was hired. That leaves 99 candidates that were not hired, for whom the cost of sourcing was incurred. I'll come back to these 99 resumes a little later. So as we have seen in this entire process, all the decision making was done during the selection phase in the applicant tracking system. This is where the candidate is judged on a large number of criteria, and his proficiency in his skill is gauged. So evidently, the insights generated in this phase are more representative of a candidate and his skills as compared to a judgment on the basis of a resume alone. So we knew to begin with that we had to build an applicant tracking system. So we built an applicant tracking system because, as is evident from the process I stated above, that we needed to harness the data generated in the selection phase to be able to provide an effective representation of the candidate. The applicant tracking system that we built works like all other applicant tracking systems that recruiters have gotten used to. You create openings, you divide those openings into multiple screening stages, you assign those screening stages to relevant people from your team, and then add candidates to these openings and take them through your pipeline. All the while, you're communicating with your team members through comments and feedback regarding each and every candidate. Recruitro also allows recruiters to rate candidates on an overall basis or on the basis of skills required for the opening. On the basis of these ratings of candidates by recruiters in a team, we provide an awesome index for each candidate. which helps in making better hiring decisions while taking into account the opinion of each recruiter. Now, this is where things get fun. Recruitro goes a step further and tracks the actions undertaken by recruiters for each candidate, for each opening, and draws insights from the data collected. For example, we track how many screening stages a candidate went through before being rejected. Did the candidate reach the last stage? What was the average rating provided to the candidate for each of his skills? This data is aggregated across companies where the candidate was pursued and then used to improve the search algorithm of Recruitro. Example, if a candidate has reached the last stage in 3 openings for a programmer in 3 companies, it can be assumed he is a good programmer. Next time a recruiter searches for a programmer on the Recruitro candidate pool with the same skill required as the other companies, this candidate will be served up higher in the search listings. By now you're probably wondering how much it costs to source from Recruitro. That's where the 99 resumes I identified earlier come into play. These 99 resumes are resumes that were not hired for any number of reasons. Maybe the candidate was too expensive. Maybe the candidate was overqualified. Maybe the candidate wasn't looking for a job change. Or maybe he relocated to Antarctica. Well, Recruitro converts these 99 resumes into currency you can use. I'll show you how. Upload these 99 resumes to Recruitro. In return, you get 99 credits from Recruitro. And then you can use these 99 credits to source new candidates from Recruitro's pool of candidates. These could be new candidates from any industry for any profile or for any designation. That's it. It's that simple. Upload resumes and then get resumes. So let me ask that question again. What is Recruitro? Quite simply put, it's a smarter recruitment tool. We're looking to add more features and services that you can redeem your credits for. For example, if you were to create a posting on the Recruitro's job board, it'll cost you 50 credits. On the other hand, if you were to verify a candidate's contact information, it'll earn you 50 credits. So I think this credit-based pricing model is something that really differentiates us from other products in the market. So let's talk about the current status of the company. Recruitro is a completely bootstrapped company that has launched all of 2 weeks back. And in those 2 weeks, we have close to 3,008 resumes registered with us, as well as 34 employers that are already using the product. As for our growth plans, we continue to concentrate on the technology involved and make sure that the technology we use, the algorithms we use, as well as the processes we use are robust. In the future, we will be adding more features that will help recruiters manage their recruitment processes better, as well as provide more candidate information to recruiters. In fact, in the near future, we're going to be adding the social footprint on the candidate profile itself. Early 2015, we're also going to be working on features for candidates for them to reshape the representation of their profile. These features will help them make their resume stand out more in the Recruitro pool. Our marketing efforts are currently only concentrated towards the IT industry because that's where the maximum hiring is taking place. And we're right now using a number of mediums to market ourselves and trying to find the best one with the highest return on investment. As for our competition, Recruitro is a product that merges 2 sides of the Indian staffing industry. One are the recruitment management services, and 2 are the resume sourcing websites. And since we merge the 2, we provide a value that these products cannot provide on their own. These products work in isolation and don't talk to each other. And I've already shown you the value that we can generate if the sourcing process and the selection process were to talk to each other. And I think that's where Recruitro differentiates itself, and that's where Recruitro is ahead of the game. I would like to thank VC Circle for this opportunity. We're an extremely early startup, and seeing this kind of interest from a publication as big as VC Circle is always extremely heartwarming.
The staffing space is already very cluttered with large players like Naukri, Times Jobs, etc., who have a fairly vast footprint in the recruitment space, and they do end-to-end solution from a recruitment manager's perspective. The biggest challenge that Recruitro would face is essentially on ensuring that there is enough depth available on the platform with respect to resumes which a recruitment manager can look at, which interests him to move away from an existing platform like a Naukri or a Times Jobs. The intent here should be to increase bandwidth, not at this point in time at least worry about monetization, and have enough resumes available on the platform for you to be able to make an impact. With the current traction that you're getting of about 3,000 resumes and about 34 companies that are working with you guys, I think it is still early days for us to actually take a call in terms of the impact that something like this could have in the staffing space. Having said that, the opportunity is interesting because a lot of people today are moving into platforms like rich content on the resume, NLP, which is essentially data mining for words, etc. on the resume, which helps recruiters zero down on the right candidates for them. So things are moving in this space, and technology is going to change the way recruitment as a vertical pans out over the next couple of years. But having said that, I think from recruiter's perspective, it is still early days. I think the opportunity is there. I think it will what it will get translated into is how big an opportunity can they make it for themselves by use of innovative technology that they are currently using.